The youngest of the victims, a 17-month-old girl at the time. Her parents are now using her story as a way to hopefully help others.
I would not have wanted to live through that tragedy in any other community, because this was a community that supported us from the second it happened.
A year later, the memories of that painful and tragic day still fresh for Kelby Davis.
This is a community that pulled over and stopped their cars and ran into the sound of gunshots to help us.
The Odessa mother takes us back. It was a typical Saturday for the Davis family. They were headed over to a friend's house. Dad Garrett was driving, Mom Kelby in the passenger seat, and the twins Anderson and Rhett, who were just 17 months old at the time, were riding in rear-facing car seats. They planned to stop at Market Street on their way and hit a stoplight at 42nd Street and JBS Parkway in Odessa, when suddenly the day took an unexpected and horrible turn.
I remember just kind of ducking my head once I heard the shots. Kelby immediately jumped back to check the kids, and that's when she saw that Anderson was bleeding.
She was just covered from head to her lap, just covered in blood. And I just started screaming, "She's been shot, Anderson's been shot."
I was just kind of numb to it. I was so confused.
I looked down and there were a bunch of just clean diapers on the floor, and so I just started picking diapers up and just putting them on her chest, putting them on her mouth, just trying to do whatever I could to stop the bleeding.
The Davises say they never saw the gunman, but turns out he shot a bullet through the back of their vehicle.
The shrapnel hit my daughter Anderson in the chest and then in the mouth, and when it hit her in the mouth, it just lodged in the chest wall, but when it went through her mouth, it went through her bottom lip and knocked out her teeth and burned through her tongue.
Their nightmare continued. Young Anderson in pain, crying for help. Her parents felt helpless. They tried calling 911 more than a dozen times.
Due to the panic of the city, we were never able actually to get through to 911.
But in their panic, a moment that can only be described as fate. Brad Reese and Kellen Foreman with Odessa Fire and Rescue just so happened to be at a nearby restaurant.
These two men, truly angels, that I truly believe God sent.
God works in mysterious ways.
Where a lot of people, and I don't blame them, I might have been one of those people, stayed in the restaurant that day when they heard gunshots. Brad and Kellen chose to run towards the gunshots when they didn't have to. They weren't on duty.
Then another hero enters the picture. Odessa Fire and Rescue Captain Jason Cotton. He stopped an ambulance who had another mass shooting victim, so little Anderson could be transported to the hospital as well.
But he just kept screaming, you know, "Help the baby, help the baby. The baby needs you more than I do. The baby needs you more than I do."
Kelby doesn't know the name of that victim, just that he wanted her baby to have priority despite his severe injuries. These parents have a long list of heroes. Heroes they say they can't thank enough.
I want people to remember the good, all the good that our first responders and our police did that day.
Ready? I swing with you. Ready? One.
This family attributes their faith for helping them move forward, and Kelby also talked about forgiveness.
Are you strong? That shooter was once a baby. That shooter was once a little boy, and I laid there in that hospital room, and I held my little girl that night, and pray my children grow up to know God and to love God and just be good humans. That is the #1 thing I pray for my children, to grow up loving God and be a good human. But at some point along the way, that didn't happen for that little boy. He grew up to do a very, very evil thing that took people's lives and devastated families and just took so much from so many people. But anger, hate, no heart. My heart's broken for him. My heart's broken for his family.
While it's still difficult to discuss, the Davis family stresses they have so much to be thankful for. Anderson is now 2 years old.
Are you ready? Hang on tight. You got it?
And there's her twin brother, Rhett, who was riding next to her during this terrible ordeal. Their parents believe they were too young to remember what happened.
I'm just so proud of her because she's been a trooper through all the surgeries and everything she's gone through.
I think you should use those feelings to help spread awareness and to help spread kindness and help use your story to help others.
The Davis family is certainly doing just that. We also had a chance to catch up with all 3 firefighters in Little Anderson's story, the ones they call heroes.
We all have a job to do. We love what we do. We don't think we're heroes. We just have a job to do, and we take care of people the best we can.
We went out to help people just like everybody in that area did. There were a lot of heroes that day all over Odessa and Midland, so I think we were just one many that did what we could to help who we could.
To me, there was nothing about being heroes that day. It was just doing what we're trained to do.
Coming up here from those working in dispatch, that story after the break.